2012 is a class I'm proud of because it has got all sorts of children. It's a cross-section. They are raring to go. They are creative. They are full of energy. They are well prepared.
I came to Nairobi Primary in 2004. At first, I was really excited because I was coming to a new school and I had high expectations. But when I entered into the gate, I was like, the school was so big, and worst of all, I saw the other pupils outside. So I was telling my mom, Mom, these guys are going to finish me. They are taller than me. They are way bigger than me. So there's no way I'm going to survive here. But after my parents convinced me, I entered into the classroom. Miss Ndirangu welcomed me with a broad smile. Then she took me to my seat. I used to sit somewhere around there. Yeah, so she gave me colors. I started coloring, and I started talking to the other kids, although I was very shy. So after some few weeks, I got used to the life in Nairobi Primary. We used to go for swimming lessons.
This is where the children arrive when they come their first day in school at 5 years old. So when we receive them, the children are very small, and we as teachers, we are very new to them. We are strangers, but we try our best as teachers to handle them nicely.
I really owe my life to these teachers because they are the ones who taught me how to dress up after swimming, how to even hold a pencil, how to read and write, and I'm really thankful to them.
The first days are very hard because we start with maybe modeling. That is a very good activity so that the children have their hands flexible so that they are able to write. After doing a lot of modeling, the children can now go to the step of using a pencil in class. So the very first thing is the working with plasticine.
I remember the days of class 1 when I used to sit here, and our teacher there, Miss Maura, she was a very loving teacher who taught me many things. I remember the first time I came into this school, I was very nervous and I could not stand leaving my mother. It was very heartless, and the teacher also comforted me.
I would like to take you to my former class 2, where I really have quite a number of memories there. I still have vivid memories of it. I used to sit someplace at the back there, and my deskmate was Christine. I remember the first day when I entered, it was kinda really not as I expected, since from class 1, the previous school that I was, coming to the Nairobi Primary School, I was kinda terrified, but when I came and found Caroline, she was very kind to me and she warmly ushered me in. I made many friends, and then during the year, as the year went by, there was a fun day. I still remember it. It was very fun since there were many games, there were toys, there was everything a kid would want to play with.
Mission statement actually is to develop a holistic child by providing quality education, and quality will mean total. As we promote creativity, innovation, and spiritual nourishment to empower the child in realizing the God-given potential. The motto of the children of this school is to the heights by hard work. The emblem is an eagle. You know, that is a bird which flies the highest.
I remember that day clearly. It was on 27th February 2007. Yeah. It was about second break there, and I came here with my parents, taken there at the administration office here. Then I was allocated to class 3P4. The class teacher there was the late Miss Shisia. Miss Shisia welcomed me very warmly, and she made me adapt to this the Nairobi Primary School. And since I was a top student, I was given quite a shock when I came to this school because this school is very competitive. It is very competitive. The first exam I did, I was like the 15th position. Then after quite some while, then Miss Shisia told me as in not to give up, and just keep on trying until I finally get to my goal. Then after trying hard, I got back to my position, got to position 1.
It was like one of my best classes, and I remember how we all were so excited. We had long waited for entering Standard 4 since it was like the desire of our lives. We all wanted to go to upper primary. So we were so all excited, and when we went to the class, we were warmly welcomed by our class teacher, who was Miss Were. She gave us the love of a mother. We could feel her love. She used to care for us. She was very kind. Everything, she was always on our side. She was always there to correct us. Whenever we went wrong, she was always there. There are some challenges we had. We had challenges because in upper primary we had to use ink pens. We were used to writing in pencils, so in upper primary we were all excited. We were finally going to start using ink pens. So at first it was very difficult and challenging because we could mess up ourselves. We mess our dresses, our books, but our loving teachers were always there. They come and tell us how to use the inks, how to write properly in ink. So, and class 4 was just the best class.
Joining Nairobi Primary was one of the best things that has ever happened in my life. At first, I joined it in 2009 in Standard 5. At first, I was quite scared. I didn't know what people would think of me, how people carried out the activities. But finally, I learned to cope up. I was able to befriend most of them, and I was able to tag on with them.
At first, it wasn't very easy because there's always that feeling of I'm always anxious. So I first socialized with everybody, and it wasn't so hard making friends. And I had quite a good welcome by my teachers, my friends, the staff, and just generally everyone who works in the school. I remember in second term, Mr. Nyangari introduced to us the drama club, and at that rate I didn't know my talent yet, so I told myself, why not? So I joined the club and I discovered my talent, and thanks to him went for festivals and were able to win trophies. First we became position 2, then first. Then we were given awards. I was the best actress, and I was able to outshine the rest of the people who I was competing against in Nairobi. And I really thank Mr. Nyangao for what he did, because thanks to him we discovered our talent.
During the third term, I was able to join the drama club. I was able to discover my talent, which is acting. We went to Mombasa for a national festival where we were team number 2.
Coming here was the best thing I ever did because it really taught me a lot. Life was fun. We also, apart from academically learning, going for sports, we also had activities like outdoor classes, and it was actually exciting.
Our class teacher was Mr. Dur. Now at that time, we used to fear him, thinking that somebody's really tough. But as the year went on, it got better, and we got to understand him. So in first term, we went for our first trip. Our first trip was going to the Equator, which was in Nanyuki.
Ensure and is deliberate, so that by the time the child is in standard 8 like this class, they have gone almost most of the parts of Kenya. They have visited at one place as a class.
During the August holidays, we had a trip to Masai Mara, and I'd never think of missing such a trip. So I decided, why did I go? When I reached there, we had lots and lots of fun.
And I remember my trip to Sirikwa, which we had so much fun, seeing what is in our books in reality, like the escarpments, all the other physical features was just more than amazing.
So in class 8, we went for a trip at Mombasa. It was fun. We learned about the Fort Jesus, the Vasco da Gama Pillar, and all many other historical sites and events that took place in Mombasa.
Mr. Dor was telling us that going to Mombasa was like the climax. The climax. If you haven't gone to a trip like that, you haven't gone to a trip in this school.
We went for a trip to Lake Naivasha. That I can't forget. That was a trip to remember. I just used to hear people say Lake Naivasha, but I hadn't gone to Lake Naivasha. Then that was quite an experience because I saw the lake and I also saw some wild animals there, like the baboons, the hippos.
I also remember the time we went for our trip in Bomas of Kenya. There's so many things and the artifacts, the dancers, the many things.
Our trip in third term, we went to Makueni Primary School in Machakos. The trip was for ideal benchmarking, totally for benchmarking, because that school, we heard that it was number 3 in the country, and we also wanted our school to become top performing school. We learned from them and we got tips that they really woke up. They woke up at 5:15 in the morning. They used to get into class by 5:30. They used to clean their dorms by themselves. There aren't any cleaners. So us, we're lucky to have cleaners, we're lucky to have watchmen, we're lucky to have teachers who teach us.
They have visited at one place as a class. They have gone outside this country, in our neighboring country. Uganda and Tanzania is a destiny. And they do that in order to appreciate how people live.
Class 7 trip was going to Uganda was fun. We learned all about their history, the falls and all that.
When you look at our school vision, it talks about to be a leading institution in providing quality education for life. So it is not a question of that you come here and then we are giving education for up to standard 8. Once you pass education in a standard 8, that's the end of it. We recognize education is not only for examination.
If you like sports, you can benefit because there's a swimming pool. We have a field that can accommodate any kind of athletic sports that you might need. And also, academically, we have one of the best teachers you can ever get because they help you. If they ever see anything as a problem, they tutor you in any way possible. And by the time you leave the school, you'll be very excited to know that you not only came there looking for academics, but also got help in many ways more than one.
As I'm talking to you right now, we have the very little children going to Uganda. They are traveling to Uganda today to go and compete. Some of them have gone even up to Sweden to play. The trophies and everything you see here is a manifest of what we get. It's not only academics, but that doesn't mean compromise in performance.
At the beginning of the year, there was a very stiff competition about who would be the head girl. Most people wanted to take up the role because they thought that it would be a nice opportunity to escape punishments and all. But after a very long talk that some of our teachers had with us, we actually realized that taking up the role was something serious. It wasn't just something that anyone could do. You had to be courageous, you have to be patient, you have to be able to stand up for what is right and what you know. At first, I had a lot of doubts about doing it, but after critically thinking about it, I decided to take up the role.
My name is Arfizal Omar Barasa. I am the Nairobi Primary School head boy, and I'm also proud to say that I'm the index number 1. Being a head boy in this school is not just any easy thing. as it was in the other schools. Teachers choose in the other schools, but in our school, it is a democratic school. So the candidates put in they vie, they talk to the pupils, and the pupils are the one who elect us. So it is more of the pupils' voice other than the teacher's voice. So they get a better representation up there instead of just the teachers putting in someone who will just do what the teachers want.
We have been the architects of making sure that the children have freedom to express themselves, to govern themselves, to start appreciating that they have something to offer. Instead of the prefects who are appointed by handpicked, we have children campaign to be what they want. If they want to be a minister, if they have their ministers in the school, and they go to the council. Once in a while I meet the council, members, representatives. They tell me how the school is, how they feel it should be.
My experience as a head boy has its ups and downs because, first of all, I'm in a candidature class. I have to balance the work of a head boy and my academics, and academics come first. So that is the goodness of having a good and a strong council, because our work is to delegate so that and to ensure that they are doing the right thing. Theirs is to enforce what you have discussed.
At first, people had some doubts in me, but after some time, with the help of most of my teachers, I was able to gain the trust that they required to have in me.
First of all, I was the deputy head boy in class 7. I was elected, so I had someone to look up to and at least had the experience in that field. So when it came to class 8, of course I had to be elected again, and at least I won it after vigorous campaigns.
When we're in school, we try our best to make school, the 12 hours that we're going to be in school, the best time that we can ever have. When we're in class, we're in class. When we're out in the field, we make sure that we play and play properly.
Haya, Chui anakohoa leo.
Here you find more girls more expressed. In actual fact, our concern is the boy child, as opposed to other areas where people are trying to find out where the girls are being married.
I talked to a few girls, and I noticed that most of us are going through a lot of trouble, especially 4 years ago during the post-election violence. A girl once told me how every single night she would go to bed with the sound of gunshots, mothers and fathers crying for their lives, innocent children just crying. They tried their best to keep the peace in their area, but it was so hard. And school was the only place she had. This was the only place she could be able to play and enjoy herself. So when we noticed the need for restoration of peace, we decided as the drama club to come up with a play that talked about peace and conflict resolution and the dangers of tribalism. The play was very nice, and it even took part in the national drama festivals. And ever since then, most of the students they paid more attention to peace, and they noticed the importance to have it, though most people hadn't noticed it before.
Okay, a child from Nairobi Primary School has many benefits because our school, as you can see, it is a